Hello friends, Mike Adams here with Audacity Training. In this video, I want to take a look at the AI noise suppression that's available in Audacity and compare it to the noise reduction tool that's been in Audacity for a long time now. So let's take a look at my screen here, and you'll see that I've got Audacity opened up here. I've got several tracks in it, but they're all the same track. I recorded that top track and then just duplicated them. And you'll see that I named the tracks. The first one's original, and the ones below it, at least the next 4 below it or 5 below it, are AI noise suppression with the particular effect that I'm going to put on that particular track. And then the bottom track is going to be the noise reduction tool that's built into Audacity. So I've got that top track soloed. So let me play through this, and you might want to put on some headphones or earbuds for this if you don't have them on already. You might want to pause the video and put them on because you're going to be able to hear a lot more. This is really bad audio on purpose. I recorded it in my internal microphone on my MacBook. I left the door open. You can hear the TV in the background and other noise going on. It's just a horrible recording, so it's really good to demonstrate for noise cleanup and noise suppression. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. It's a short clip, about 8 seconds long, and let's give that original one a listen. Testing some audio. Here's some silence. Testing some audio. Boy, that's really bad audio that we're testing there. So for now, I'm going to minimize that top track. Oh, by the way, I've got my tracks set to go to half wave when I minimize them, just to give myself a little more real estate, or it looks a little bit cleaner really on the display. You can do that too if you go into preferences. Again, I'm on a Mac, so my preferences is under the Audacity menu. If I go into preferences, and of course it went to the wrong screen, so let me move it up here. And let's go into tracks. And if you click right here, you'll see use half-wave display or half-wave display when collapsed. That's where you can change that if you want to. That's free information, no charge. All right, let's expand this second track here. And this time I want to put on the AI DeepFilterNet2. That's what it's called. It's part of that open Vino that I demonstrated briefly a couple of videos ago. And the 100 is the amount of noise reduction that we're going to put on it. But first I'm going to solo this track. I'm going to select the entire track, and then I'm going to come up to the effect drop-down menu, and I'm going to come down to Open Vino AI Effects. This isn't included in Audacity, at least not in the Mac version, but I'll have a link to it in the description below that you can easily get to. Now we're going to look at noise suppression. So let's bring up noise suppression. And of course, I went to my wrong screen again. I got to train my computer better or something. All right, so here we are. We're going to, first of all, just like the track name suggests, we're going to put DeepFilterNet2 on it. So we want to come to the drop-down menu. We're going to DeepFilterNet2. And the 100 is how much noise suppression to put on it. I'm going to leave it at 100 because that puts the maximum amount on there. But you can type any value into this field. It says here that for little noise reduction, 6 to 12 is good. For medium, 18 to 24. But I want to go extreme because that's how I roll. So I'm going to apply this, and then we'll play through it again. And we can see it did a little bit of cleanup there. Now let's play through it again. I'm going to rewind here, and let's play through it one more time. Again, this is with that DeepFilter2 noise suppression on it. Testing some audio. Here's some silence. Testing some audio. Okay, now that's pretty good. I can still hear the TV in there. I can still hear some background noise, but it's pretty good. It's a lot better than it was. Let's select through this silent spot right here, and let's come up to the loop function on this button right here to enable looping. And now we've looped that section. We know we've looped it because we have what looks like little bookends up here in our selection. So I'm going to put the cursor right here in that loop, and I'm going to press space bar, and we'll just continually play through that for a couple of seconds. And while we're doing it, pay special attention to the playback meter tool, or the playback meter up here, because we're going to see what the level is on playback while it goes through the noise. So I'm going to press play. And you can see that it's peaking out just above a -48, so it reduced the noise considerably. I'm going to press the stop, or the space bar to stop, and now I'm going to expand that original track I'm going to leave everything looped just like we have it, but I'm going to solo that first track. And let's compare the noise, the original noise, to the noise of the Deep Filter 2. I'm going to press spacebar to play. Now, I don't know what you heard, but I heard the TV and something that sounded like a jackhammer. I'm not sure what it was. But it's, if you look at the meter up there for the playback, we can see that we're right around the negative 40 on the original one. And again, down here on the other one, which I'm going to solo now, and let's put the cursor in here and let's play it again. So we're talking about a negative 40, and let's see how much it reduced it. Around a negative 48 or so. So that's not bad. Let's collapse that track and let's expand this track. And this time, let's put the DeepFilterNet3 on this track. I'm going to solo it. I'm going to select the entire track. And let's come back down here to OpenVino AI Effects. And this time we're going to put DeepFilterNet3 on it. Again, I put it on the wrong screen. Let me bring it over here. DeepFilterNet3 is what we want. We're going to leave it at 100 just to compare. And this check mark down here says enable post filter that slightly over attenuates very noisy sections. I'm going to uncheck that for now because we're going to check it next time when we do the next test. So I'm going to click apply. And again, we've got the track soloed. So let's come through our noise area here and let's play this and see what it's going to do. Again, keep your eye on the playback meter. That's much better. It's peaking out about a negative 60, but it's kind of hovering around a negative 64 or so, negative 65. So that's much better than our original audio, much better than our original audio. Now, I'm going to collapse that track, and I'm going to expand the next track. I'm going to solo that next track. Let's get it a little bit wider here, just so we can see it. And this time, I'm going to come up to the Effect drop-down menu, and I'm going to put on that same effect. It's AI Deep Noise Filter 3, just like last time. And just like last time, and the time before, and the time before, put it on the wrong screen. So we're going to leave it at DeepFilterNet3, but this time I'm going to check that tick mark right there. You can see I've got it in the track name. I've got plus post filter on it so that we know that I've checked this filter right here. And now I'm going to apply that. And let's come in, and I've got the track soloed. Let's come into our loop. I'm going to press the space bar and let's play through this one, keeping our attention on the playback meter. Okay, there were a couple of bumps in there that looked like about a negative 62, maybe somewhere around there was the highest point, but it's hovering more around the negative 70 area. Let me press the space bar again. Let's look at it one more time. Yeah, it's even getting down close to a negative 80, which is really good for noise suppression. Again, this is AI noise suppression, and it is destructive when you use it this way. I don't think it's available as a non-destructive plugin just yet, as a real-time plugin. At least it's not on my computer. I couldn't find it in that section over there. So I'm just using it as a destructive plugin, which is fine. Just know when you're using a destructive plugin that you're using a destructive plugin. Now, let's collapse that one. Let's come down to the next track. I'm going to widen this out. I'm going to solo this. I have AI Noise Suppression as the name of this track. So let's come back up to our Effect drop-down menu, and let's go back to OpenVino AI Effects to our Noise Suppression. And again, come on, computer. It went to the wrong screen. So this time, we're not going to use DeepFilter 2 or DeepFilterNet3. We're going to use Noise Suppression. And in Noise Suppression, there are no advanced options. But let's take this and let's apply it to our track, and let's do a comparison like we did with the others. And so just like that, it applied the noise suppression. You can see that there's still a little bit of tick marks down in here, but let's play it. I've got it soloed. I'm going to press the space bar. Let's play through that loop. And again, we'll keep our eye on the meter playback, or the playback meter. So here goes. So you can see that it did a good job eventually, but initially it took it a second to really grab the noise. Let me play it again. You can see that it's up around the -48, but then it drops. Drops down to probably a -66, -70, somewhere in that range. But that initial thing, it really didn't grab it in time or something. I'm not sure why, but again, I'm just testing this just to test it. Let's collapse that track, and let's come down to this bottom track now. And this is where we're going to apply the built-in noise reduction tool within Audacity, which in my opinion is a very good noise reduction tool. I've done a couple of videos on it. And if you want to go back and look at any of those, you can search on my channel here for those. But this is the built-in effect. Again, they're all destructive, every one of them. I'm going to solo this track, and I've got the entire track selected. So let's come up to the effect drop-down menu, and this time we're going to go into noise removal and repair. And we're going to bring up the noise reduction tool. And of course, it opens on the wrong screen. All right, so here we are. We're in the noise reduction tool. If you've been using Audacity for any length of time, this should look familiar to you. This has been around for a long time. It may have been around since the beginning. I don't know. But it's been around for years and years, and I've depended on it and used it quite a bit. Now, here's what we're going to do. Let's actually, let me cancel out of here. Let me solo this original track, and let's play through it and look at the noise level again. Okay, so it's up around a -40 or so. I just did that for reference. Let's come back down to this bottom track now and solo it. And then let's come back to our effect. So we're going to go in the noise removal and repair, noise reduction. The reason that I made that change, or the reason that I wanted to look at the original noise, was to know how much to reduce it here. I'm going to type in, see it's around a -48 or so, I'm going to type in a -25 just to get our noise reduced by that amount, 25 dB. And I'm going to leave the sensitivity at 6, the frequency smoothing bands at 3. I don't know that I've ever really touched those. We're going to reduce the noise. The reason that I set these ahead of time is when you see this demonstrated a lot of time, the person demonstrating it it's like a two-step process, which it is. But once they get the noise profile that we're going to do in just a second, they come back and open this window again to reapply it. But you don't have to do that. If you set these numbers ahead of time and you pretty much know what you're going to do ahead of time, you never have to come back to this window. You can just repeat the effect. You can use Control-R on a PC, or in my instance, Command-R, because I'm on a Mac, to just repeat the effect. So I like to set these ahead of time. Now what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to cancel out of here because I did this wrong. We're going to select through some audio here. See, even after you've done this for 20 years, you still make mistakes. So let's come back to noise removal and repair and noise reduction. And again, it opens on the wrong screen. I love my computer. So let's, we've got our numbers set here. We've got some audio selected where there's no voice. That's important when you're going to do noise reduction. You don't want to have highlighted any audio that you want to keep. You just want room noise, room tone, whatever you want to call it. You want to make sure that there's no audio spoken in there. Because when we press Get Noise Profile, we're telling Audacity, this is what we consider noise. This is noise in our track, and we want to get rid of it. And in this case, we want to reduce the noise by 20 dB. So I'm going to click on Get Noise Profile, and that's going to tell Audacity, this is what I consider noise. And nothing's going to really change or happen. I'm just going to press this button right now. So it got the noise profile. Now again, a lot of people will go back up to Effect and go through the process of opening this up again, but you don't have to do that. If I select the entire track now, I can just press Command R, or on a PC again, Control R, and that will apply the effect on the entire track. So I'm going to press Command R, and we're going to put that 20 dB of noise reduction on this track. And just like that, it reduced it down. We can see that it changed the noise level here. So let's put the cursor inside of our loop. We've got it soloed. Pay special attention again to the meter, to the playback meter as I play through this. Okay, so we went from around 40 dB down to about 60, just below 60 dB. It's peaking out there at the end. There's some little click or something that, I probably bumped something. Who knows what that was. But let me play it again and look at the noise reduction. Now let's do a little comparison. Let's solo the top track and let's loop it. Now let's solo the bottom track and let's loop it. Wow, that is quiet. That is extremely quiet. And again, that's the built-in tool within Audacity to reduce noise. So I guess my conclusion is some of the AI stuff is good, but I like the original noise reduction better. That's just my personal preference. I think it does a better job. Maybe I've just relied on it for so long that maybe it's just a little bit difficult for me to let it go. That could be. That could very well be. But my personal opinion is while the AI noise reduction in Audacity can be effective, it's not always that good. Hey, let me do one more thing here. Let me minimize this. I wasn't planning on doing this, but I think it'd be kind of a cool deal to do. I'm going to solo this top track, the original one again, and I'm going to go into Logarithmic View. This used to be called dB View in previous versions of Audacity. I don't remember when they changed it, but now it's called Logarithmic View. In this linear view, we simply have a quiet point of 0 to a -1 and a -1. It's just kind of it's a linear scale. There's other scales that we can use here. There's a linear dB scale, which looks kind of the same, with infinite dB here. In other words, complete silence. And instead of going -1 to a +1, we go negative. We go from what am I trying to say? We go from complete silence to where we could clip at a 0 dB. But this isn't what I want to do. I'm going to go to Logarithmic View, and we're going to look at the actual dB level. That's what my waveform looks like. Here's the noise that we were messing around with. Now let's come back down here to the bottom one, and let's do the same thing. Let's make this logarithmic. And you can see that the noise is still there, but the noise is reduced greatly. Now, if we look at some of these other ones, like let's go ahead and open this one, and let's go to the logarithmic scale. You can see that the noise is still there. In fact, it kind of looks like it amplified a little bit of it. I don't know. But the noise is still there. Let's minimize that. And let's come back down to the FilterNet3. And let's do the same thing there. Again, it caught a lot of the noise initially, but then it kind of faded out, which I guess is good. I don't know why it did that. I have no idea. But that's kind of the characteristic of that one. And then we did the same thing, remember, but we did the post filter on it. So let me put Logarithmic View on that. And that kind of has the same pattern, but it's more extreme. It did more reduction on it. I guess that's what I mean by more extreme. It ended up reducing it more, but it didn't reduce it to this level all the way through. It took it a minute to get there. Again, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I don't know why it did that, but it did. So let's go to Logarithmic View here on the noise suppression. And again, not a lot of noise suppression right here, but down here it really knocked it down. And then, of course, here's our noise reduction that's built into Audacity. You can see it's pretty consistent. It's consistent all the way through here. Let's solo this again, and let's run through just this noise, and let's keep an eye on the meter. So there we go. That concludes this test. Had this been an actual emergency, never mind. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that today. I thought it was kind of a cool thing to look at, to be able to compare some of these AI processes that are available in Audacity now with what's been there all along, or pretty close to all along, from the beginning or near the beginning of Audacity. So I hope that this kind of gives you a better idea of the AI capabilities. Again, I'll have a link in the description below to that Open Vino if you need to go get it. And this AI effect has been around in Windows for a while now, but it's new to the Mac. It's new in version 3.7.4. So hey, if you like what's going on here, please consider subscribing. I forgot to say welcome to my channel, but welcome to my channel. And my name is Mike, and I'm glad you're here. And thanks a lot for watching.